And when I view and search, it will show me the knowledge panel for the GMB. Comes in the right side of the.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see here, and down here, I have the post, and Google will show you up to 10 different posts in a carousel down here. So if I click here, you can see there's my post, which I just posted.
Okay, right. So the Google My Business, I'm not really an expert on Google My Business myself. What I know about it is that generally when you search and it comes up on that panel on the right-hand side of Google, and then I guess those posts just sort of exist within that panel there mainly, or it also inside Google's brain.
They exist two places. They exist in what we call the knowledge panel, which is what we're looking at here.
Uh-huh.
And then they will exist in what we call the business website for Google. The business website is actually a website down here. As you can see, there's an ability. So when you optimize your GMB, you will create this website. It's a one-pager which Google creates for you.
Okay.
And what you'll have in here is, sorry, I need to move it a little bit, just a second.
Well, that answers my question very well, because so they kind of create this one-page site for your business where all your posts are aggregated as well.
Yeah, all the posts will be considered as an inner page on this Google website.
That's really great. I have never used that, so I'm glad to learn about this.
Oh, there's a limitation on whatever stuff you can put into it. There's 1,500 words in the section down here. Mm-hmm. You see there's a little bit gray.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have an area above, which is actually your possibility to put in what we call services. Mm-hmm. So you have a possibility to put in services, and these services actually doesn't have a limitation. You could put in quite a few, and you can keyword optimize those. Mm-hmm. And then you come to all the different posts. Mm-hmm. Which is considered as inner pages. And as we saw before, the post will reside here for 7 days. Okay. So when 7 days have passed, they will disappear from the knowledge panel. And two things that you should consider is that, as you can see, you have the picture. So if you have a picture which is actually a contrast to whatever is listed on the search panel or the search result, mm-hmm. then it will actually hook the attention from the searcher. Right. And then you have down here roughly 80 characters or 80 words, sorry, that you'll be shown down here. It's a limited, as you can see. So whatever you can put in here that is a call to action or stimulating interest to click on the post, that will create much more views for your post, and i.e. more views give a higher probability of ranking in the search results.
Right, so that means that the more that you're creating interesting and maybe even disruptive sort of content posts on there, not only do you get more clicks from people, but also it kind of tickles Google a little bit. It makes them rank you up a little bit more.
You know that whenever there's activity on your links, your post or whatever, uh-huh. Google will notice that, and that gives you a boost in your possible rankings, because if people click on your links, Google say, well, they're interested in this kind of content, so we give them more of it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And so then it's just, I think it's very similar to, what we teach with blogging and social marketing and stuff. It's like you have to create new content regularly to not only to keep your viewers interested, but also to let Google know that you're alive, and it kicks you up a bit more when you do. So obviously the more you're posting, especially if it's quality stuff, then the better rankings you're going to get. So it's something you have to do a lot by hand, right?
Exactly. Let me try to...
More than one business, of course, you got to do it for, not just the one business, but you have to do it for all the businesses that you're managing. So it could be a lot of content to be concerned with.
Hey guys, just real quick, just want to clarify something. A couple of people are asking, is this a tutorial on how to use the GMB? What we're trying to do is teach you some of the things that are important that you can on your own to get listed in the 3-pack. So there are in all things, preliminary elemental things that maybe maybe you don't know, but we want to make sure that you walk away knowing something, about how to accomplish this process, regardless of what you do later on. But, we want to make sure that you learn something. That's why we're going through these steps real quickly.
I think this is great. I've already learned a bunch of stuff that I didn't know about Google My Business, as you can probably tell by the questions I've been asking. So I hope you don't mind. I think it's helpful.
I think every time I see this, I learn something and I help build it. So it's awesome.
Yeah, right on. So you could do this by hand, and that's just post it and you see where it comes out on that aggregated page or on the panel.
Yeah. Hey, Hugh, there's one thing that want everybody here that's listening to understand. There's like a saying that we kind of go by, and it's this: if Google allows you to do something, then it's probably a good idea that you do what they allow you to do for the best results. Does that make sense?
The first part of the sentence got cut off for some reason. Can you repeat it?
Sure. If Google allows you to do something, then it would make sense that you should take advantage of what Google allows you to do because they're encouraging you to do it, right?
100%.
Okay. So just as an example, when it comes to posts, you used to be able to post, once every other day, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, they changed it to where you can now post 4 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we were starting to get questions, and I think this is important for everybody to know from our group. Well, if we post 4 times a day, isn't that too much? Well, let me think. Google just said you can now post 4 times a day, so how can that be too much?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So part of all of what you're seeing here are these little things that allow you to maximize your opportunity, so that if you're going to be doing this by hand or by using tools or other tools, by doing 4 times a day, you can do an event, you can do a product, you can do your own business. So you really got a lot of ammunition. And the biggest problem with most people that are trying to do this, especially if they're doing it by hand, is that it gets to be pretty cumbersome to have to go in every day and make 4 posts, every day and make 4 posts, right? So, but if Google allows us to do it, then we feel we should do it.
Cutting off, like half of your words are cutting off. I don't know, it's like or something. I don't know.
Could be my computer. Sorry.
No, I hear Patrick clear, so maybe it's in your end here.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe it's just me, but it's like the audio's weird. So anyway, let's just carry on.
Okay. I just want to show you an example on a mobile. where I had searched for residential mortgages in Melbourne and Florida. And if you go down and look here in the 3-pack, there's something called Oceans Lending, which is in number 2 spot. If you go further down to, just a sec. Here, you can see Oceans Lending is coming up there. And the reason why I'm showing this is we started posting regularly to this GMB a little back, and they were nowhere in the organic search rankings for their website. Now they're sitting in position number 2 for a special keyword, and they're actually ranking on page 1 as number 6 or 7 in the rankings. So that's what the work that we have done with the GMB has done for them. And that's why I want to show you our little tool, which is called GMB Factory, which is the posting tool that we're using for managing all the posts to the GMB. So the GMB, the poster has to be set up. I won't go into that detail. What I want to go into is the poster in itself. And here you have a possibility of choosing what we call the brand, i.e. the Gmail account, and then each Gmail account has a location attached to it. So here I have a few on this one. So if I go to choose another account, I will have other GMBs. We'll just have to query the API first. So just in a second, it will load those GMBs that's done now. And now you can see I have other GMBs within that account.